It's week 5 of fantasy football, and here are my PPR rankings for this week. What's up, Couch fam? Welcome to my weekly rankings video. We do one every Thursday afternoon, and if you do want the updated written form of these rankings, go to fantasycouch.com/rankings. Let's go on to the QB ranks for week 5. Usual suspects up at the top, Josh Allen, and we also have Jalen Hurts, who has become a super reliable, high upside, high floor quarterback. This week, instead of ranking Lamar Jackson at 3, I'm going with Mahomes. I think this Raiders-Chiefs game could be a pretty big shootout and lots of offense, which brings me to my bold prediction of the week, brought to you by Sleeper. I think Derek Carr has been mediocre and disappointing in real life, maybe even in fantasy. Maybe not. Maybe he's actually been okay in fantasy and just got a pretty bad rep. Raiders off to a slow start, 0-3. They finally got their first win against the Broncos, barely, but it was a sloppy game. And he just hasn't been that well. Lots of memes going around. Adams is disappointed. He's crying. He wants to go back to Green Bay. Whatever. Let's focus on reality here, or focus on what's really going on. He's QB 12 right now in fantasy. And that's around where he was drafted. QB 11, QB 13, QB 10, maybe even QB 15. So he's doing just like we thought as far as his ADP reflects. And I think this week against the Chiefs, he will have his best game, his best performance. I love starting players going against the Cardinals, up-tempo game, and players going against the Chiefs, always a shootout. And that's why I am going to actually rank him as QB 5. Derek Carr will have his best game of the season and put up over 20 fantasy points. Let's go through some of the other rankings, or just show you a little bit. People like when I scroll down a bit here. Not trusting Geno Smith, not trusting the Geno Smith hype. Sorry, can't do it. You know what? I'm also not trusting Marcus Mariota. He sickens me. I hate him. Let's put him tied with Jimmy G. I hate Mariota. I don't like you, dude. I don't like, you know what? I really don't like him. Let's keep moving him down as much as we can. Yeah, keep tabs on Daniel Jones injury and Jameis Winston injury. Also Mac Jones injury. Brian Hoyer has been placed on IR. So it's either going to be Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi starting for the Patriots. Moving on to running backs. This week's rankings are going to probably be a bit of a surprise to most people. Derrick Henry at number 1. That's going to be a big surprise. I love Austin Eckler this week, but I think ranking him number 6 it's fair. I think it's fair. I think they need to run the ball a lot with Michelle and maybe Kelly. Keep it on the ground. Give Eckler a good amount of carries. Keeping this on the ground should get the win for the Chargers. Control the game a little bit. Then again, hey, I could be wrong. Maybe Herbert throws for 400 yards. I think that should be the game plan, though. Keep this nice and easy, controlled football. Run. Melvin Gordon is a start. I like him. Jamal Williams is a start. I love him. DeAndre Swift expected to be out this week, but also expected to be back right after the bye week. The Lions have a week 6 bye, so Swift should be back week 7. Dameon Pierce, a must start. Now, Nyheim Hines is not a must start. This is probably the best way to put it. In a 10-team league, you probably don't want to start him, or you're contemplating starting him or not. In a 12-team league, I do think he's a start, especially in full PPR. I have him tied with James Conner, and in full PPR, I would rather start Hines over Conner, although it's pretty close. But as you can see, that's around where I'm ranking him. A.J. Dillon, Ramondre, Connor, Breece Hall, Najee, even Damian Harris. He's ranked right around where these guys are. Yeah, I like Najee Harris. He's not even a great start. I might even have to rank him lower, but these are very close. So I got Hines at RB20. Melvin Gordon. Well, I was getting a ton of questions about Melvin Gordon, and so I just tweeted out like, hey, why'd you draft Melvin Gordon? If you drafted him, he's not going to get a better chance. Like, this is his chance. Like, Javonte Williams is out. Latavius Murray is just getting a hold of the playbook. Like, I don't think he'll be involved a lot, at least not this week. Remember, they play tonight. They play right now, Thursday Night Football. So Melvin Gordon is a must start pretty much if you have him. Either start him or trade him. Like, don't bench him. Why would you? Like, it makes no sense. Like, this is the moment you've been quote unquote waiting for Melvin Gordon to be a starter. David Montgomery back at practice on a limited participation level, so keep tabs on that. Might have to rank him a little bit lower. Zeke's actually not looking good. We should put this one spot lower here. I hate Cam Akers. He disgusts me and disgusts everyone in the world. We need to rank him a few spots lower. Maybe like right here. I hate you, Cam Akers. All right. And Alvin Kamara, I think he is a great buy low option. I know I've been saying that, so I may have been looking kind of stupid, but it's only 4 weeks, only been 4 weeks. If he turns it on right now, if he turns it around right now against the Seahawks, you're going to regret this. Alvin Kamara, one of the best buy low options. And yeah, I would probably start him over a lot of players, putting him right around here, right around where Nyheim Hines is. You know, I really like Alvin Kamara. All right, let's put him. How high can we go? Right here, 17. I think this is fair. A little bit conservative. Yeah, a little conservative. I think that does it right here. Yeah. So apparently people are ranking him really high. Okay. Yeah, he could be higher. I just want to be conservative with this. You know what? Screw being conservative. Let's put him up here at 13, right below Dameon Pierce. All right, moving on to wide receivers. Yep, this looks good. I really like Deebo Samuel. I really think he's one of the most talented electric players in the league. This offense is not always the best. It's not a super high-powered offense, this Niners offense, so sometimes it doesn't translate into fantasy points for Deebo. But the talent is there. The usage is there. He's as good as ever. He's just as good as last year, if not better. So don't worry about Deebo in terms of like, oh, why is he sucking, this and that. Just sometimes the Niners won't score a ton of points on offense. That's about it. I still believe in Michael Pittman. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm still a believer. Definitely want to keep tabs on the Dolphins' injuries. T. Higgins is expected to play. He has an injury. CeeDee Lamb also has an injury, but he is expected to play. Brandon Cooks. I think the campaign has started that Brandon Cooks doesn't suck anymore. First 3 weeks, extreme suckage. And after that, we should start seeing him perform better. Texans team is changing, right? Dameon Pierce didn't get any touches the first week. Then he got a lot. Now this offense is kind of revolving around him. It's looking different. They're coming to their own. And Brandon Cooks, he keeps getting targets every single week. So it's only a matter of time before he started doing something with them. And he did week 4. So I do like Brandon Cooks, pretty much a must start in my book. I'm also starting Romeo Doubs in a lot of leagues. Unfortunately, Terry McLaurin, we're starting to lose a bit of confidence in him. I do like Gabe Davis, though. 33 might be a little bit low for him. It's just that there's just so many guys right here. There's just not a lot of separation. He could be ranked as high as, you know, like right here, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, easily wide receiver 21. So, just so you know, like, there's not a really big difference. I do love Gabe Davis this week. I really do. Yeah, man, it's hard to rank these from number 21 to 33. It's kind of like a dead zone or wishy-washy right here. It's a lot going on, a lot of unknowns. But I just want to make it clear, I do like Gabe Davis this week, and I would recommend starting him if you could. It's just how I got the rankings set this week. Rankings are just a guide. Remember that, guys. I'm trying to help you guys with a guide. But, if you got DJ Moore, maybe you want to bench him for Gabe Davis. Like, who wants to start DJ Moore? Although I think DJ Moore is going to get a little bit better throughout the season, he still sucks. Baker still sucks. Panthers still suck. CMC is the only guy there that you want as far as fantasy goes. For tight ends, Kyle Pitts is hurt, so and he discussed everybody. Should I just rank him low just so we don't trigger anybody? Let's keep it simple. I do think if he were healthy and playing, I would start him, but this is the excuse. Fantasy owners have an excuse finally to bench this guy. So let's just put up here for now. So these are my tight end rankings. I'm a huge George Kittle fan, but he's just not involved in the passing game as much as we'd like him to be. Dalton Schultz should be bouncing back. Remember last week, he was still hurt. I know he got a lot of snaps, but I do expect him to play a lot more and be more involved in the actual offense in the pass game. All right, and let's go to defenses. So as far as elite defenses, I got my top 4 here. So the super elite tier 1 is going to be Packers, Niners, Bills, and Vikings, with very little separating these 4. Especially the top 3. The top 3 options are basically tied. And then a little bit below that, we have the Packers D. After that, not a big difference between the Bucks or Dolphins. Now, the Rams, remember, people like to watch a game, recency bias. They all of a sudden think the Rams suck. Now, they do suck this year. There's no way around that. But they don't suck as much as the very last game they played. The Niners are just a really bad matchup for them. And look, I mean, what is Jimmy G 7-0 against the Rams as far as the regular season goes? Niners own the Rams. Don't know how they lost in the playoffs to them, but they own the Rams. It's a bad matchup. They don't want it. It's like a tough team versus a finesse team. I don't know what it is. Well, I know a lot of intricacies, but for some reason it just explodes in their face, and it's really bad for the Rams. It's not going to be as bad this week against the Cowboys. As a matter of fact, the Rams are favorited to win, so Rams defense should be okay to start against Cooper Rush and the Cowboys. Not a bad defense. It's not an ideal one. Not bad. And not a lot separating the Rams D from the Jags or Eagles. Eagles don't have a great matchup, but they are great. And so if you have the Eagles D and you don't like adding and dropping and streaming defenses every week, you're not one of us, you don't like doing it, you can stick with the Eagles D and keep starting them until they fail you. Because as of right now, they're hot fire. I'll scroll down a little bit. This is the zone where you don't want to start any of these guys. This is for deep leagues. But okay, we'll move on to kicker. This is my favorite position. I usually get the most excited when I talk about kickers. So there are some really good kickers here. Daniel Carlson, fairly elite. Tyler Bass could be my favorite kicker this week, but there's a little bit of wind there, so maybe a miss or two. Could be. I still love him. Ryan Suckup, I absolutely love this. Ryan Suckup could easily be the number 1 kicker this week going against the Falcons. Should have a lot of extra points, a lot of field goal attempts. I really like Suckup this week. So if you don't have Tucker, Suckup, Bass, Carlson, Evan McPherson, you can go get Greg Joseph. He's a little bit inconsistent, highly volatile kicker, but it's a home game in a dome. Vikings are heavily favorited to win. Mason Crosby, he should be, as long as he doesn't miss any stupid easy kicks, he should have a really high floor going against the Giants. So I like Mason Crosby. But we'll see. I don't think he has a super high ceiling. I just feel like Gay always has a higher ceiling. I trust Matt Gay more when he's kicking. It's just that the Rams are kind of hard to trust. The Rams are kind of hard to predict. And if you need a sleeper kicker who's available in almost every league, that's going to be Riley Patterson. So you really don't need to go below my top 9. I feel like Patterson is available in almost every league. And if not, Greg Joseph or Crosby are. Like, there's really no need to go below. But if you do, you got a guy like Will Lutz who's pretty much available in every league. And there's some other good kickers here. I mean, my top 14 are pretty good. I think if you have a top 14 kicker, you shouldn't be in too bad a shape. Now, my number 1 kicker could be the Chiefs kicker, and that may not be Harrison Butker. He didn't practice at all this week, and so Matthew Wright would get the boost. Don't know too much about him, but he seems like a pretty good kicker. I do kind of trust him. So Matthew Wright would be ranked maybe as high as kicker 7, right around where Crosby is. So I would rank him pretty high, whoever the kicker for the Chiefs is. And that's going to do it for this video. Remember, you can find these rankings at fantasycouch.com/rankings. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I read every single comment, so feel free to comment on this video and subscribe to our second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. We go live after every single Thursday night football game. Lots of fun, and then we upload the podcast like any normal podcast. Good luck this week, and I'll see you guys on the next